Hey everybody, I'm Tony, founder of Leka.io, and we have a ton of updates to the AI agent interface. And not just the interface, there's a lot of stuff in the backend that changed that will improve the way the agents perform. So let's go through them. The first thing is, if you're familiar with how our builder used to work, you used to have to go through like a whole config process. There's a bunch of tabs. You'd add your connections, your knowledge, your actions, your sub-agents, your workflows. And it's just like, it was way complicated when it didn't need to be. So now it's all within this tools button. You click on this and you can see right here is where you message your other agents. You can run workflows as tools. You can search through your custom knowledge, you can make a phone call, search the web. And then we also have all the other apps that you can use. So Gmail, you can do all these different things. And this looks really familiar if you're using our workflow builder because it's the exact same drop down as our workflow builder. If I jump over here, when you are building a workflow, it's very similar drop down, right? Like send email and you can configure it over here and then you can just do different things. It's the same UI. So I will select, for example, I will select Slack to send a message to channel, and now I have that as a tool. If I click on it, it's the same UI as the workflow builder. So if I go to Slack, message channel, it's the same form. So it'll be very familiar if you're already using that tool. So here, what you can do is you can select your connection. If you don't have one, you can create one right here. And then you can select the channel you want it to send a message to. And then whatever fields you leave empty, the AI will just fill them out for you. This is so big because before, essentially when you'd select this as an action, you couldn't customize it. So you had to make sure that somehow you got this ID and fed it to the AI via prompt so that the AI knew that that was the ID of the channel you wanted to message. It was just so complicated. And now you can literally just pick it and then leave anything empty and the AI will just fill it out for you. You can also update the name and description, and these are both fed to the AI as well. So this could be like send message to demo channel. That way, whenever I tell it to do something with the demo channel, it knows it's this tool and not one of the other 10 send message actions you might add for this agent for some reason, right? So do not use Markdown. AI likes to use Markdown, so I'm just going to tell it not to use it, and then I'm going to save. So now if I test it, I'm going to say hello to Slack. If I pull over the agent demo channel, I got a hello Slack message just barely, which is really cool. Okay, let's jump back over. Let's show you how to message other agents. So let's say I want to have this like assistant be like the head, and this guy controls all these other like sub agents. Essentially, you could just have this message agent as a tool. And the reason you would want to do that is because, yes, I could give this agent 100 tools, but it's not going to perform as well as if it only had like 6 or 10 maybe. The less tools, the better. But you can give it access to message another agent, and that agent might have 10 tools, and that agent might be able to message another agent which has 10 tools, right? So you can still be powerful, but you just don't give all the tools to one agent. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm going to create a agent called Math Expert. All right, and this doesn't have to be math related. It could be anything. This could be like this is whatever. But in this case, I'm going to go to math, and I'm going to give it the tool to evaluate expressions. That's all I'm going to do. You could also go to the advanced settings and give it really good instructions. Maybe there's a better AI model that handles math questions better, right? You want to switch to that one. Anyways, let's jump back to the company assistant, and I'm going to give it the tool to message an agent. And I'm going to select the Math Expert agent, and I'm going to leave these two blank. I'm going to rename this to Message Math Expert, and I'm going to rename the description to message this agent anytime you have to do math. That way, even if I ask like a 2 + 2 question, it'll still always send it to that guy. So I'm going to do what is 2 × 2 × 2, and send the answer to Slack. Okay, so let's pull over the Slack, and we'll see it's messaging the Math Expert, and then it sent message to the demo channel, And we'll see right here, we got the answer. So what's happening under the hood is these two are having a conversation, and the math expert tells the company assistant the answer, and the company assistant just updates me with the answer it got from the subagent. Okay, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool things you can do there. Let me give you another example. Let's say instead of sending a message to the demo channel, you actually want the AI, anytime it's making like an announcement, to broadcast it to like 10 different Slack channels. One way you could do it is you could add this send message to channel tool 10 times, and then via prompt you can say use all 10 of your tools to send it to the 10 different channels. But that's just crazy. It's like way too much context, not necessary. Shouldn't do that ever. But what you can do is you can build a tool that does that, and then you just give that tool to the agent, and all the agent has to do is just call the tool, and then the tool will send the announcement to all 10 Slack channels. So let me give you an example. I already created a workflow called send announcements, or I thought I did. I guess I modified it, so now it's not. So what you do is you would create a manually run trigger, and you put in the input that you want the AI to fill out. So I'm just going to call it message, and it's going to be required. So now the AI has to pass in the message, and then I'm going to do like Slack message to channel, and I'm going to select the notifications channel, and I want the message of the announcement to be the output of the or the input that the agent gives. So I'm just mapping it, right? So I'm going to split and send a message to another channel. And let's make this one go to the demo channel, and same thing, I'm going to map the value and save. So now anytime the agent uses this tool, I could have like 50 different channels here, right? I could have like 1,000 steps in here, but all the agent knows about is that it has this tool and it has to pass in message. And then you can have it output data as well, output workflow data, and then it'll feed data back to the agent, which I'm not going to show in this example, but let's go to the company assistant, and I'm going to do run workflow, and I'm going to select that test workflow, and I'm going to name it. Is that actually what it's called? I guess it is called test. All right, and I'm going to rename this to send announcements. Use this tool to broadcast announcements to all channels, right? The agent doesn't really know what's happening. All it's going to do is pass in the message. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give it Google search, and I'm going to say get top 20 top boy names in 2024 and send the results as an announcement, right? So now it's going to use Google. It's going to get a list of the popular names, and then it's going to use the send announcements tool to send the announcements to all of those Slack channels I selected. So if I pull over my agent demo channel, we'll see it gave me top boy names 2024, and it gave me some sources, I guess, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me show you one more thing down here. So in the advanced settings, I kind of went over this really briefly, but you can give instructions to your agent. So this is like the way it will behave, its goal, its purpose, right? I could say like respond in Spanish. Oops. Respond in Spanish. Then I'm going to say hi, and it responds in Spanish. See, so you can modify its base behavior through the instructions. You can also select the AI provider, so you can switch between them in case there's one that does better at certain tasks that you're needing it to do. You can switch between models between the providers. And then if you have a connection to this provider, you can just use your own API key instead of using the credits that we provide. So the way you do that is you go to connections and you create a new connection for OpenAI, Anthropic, or Gemini. And then it'll ask you to add your API key. And then if you go back to the advanced settings, you can select it from the dropdown. And then you can just tweak a few other things. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions, send them my way. If you have any feedback, please send them my way. We're trying to build the best agent AI builder platform. So that's our goal, and if you can help us reach that goal, that'd be great. Thanks.